Hello friends. In this lecture we are going to study the different types of lateral earth pressure, then what are earth pressure coefficients, and what are the implications of these different types of lateral earth pressure on the structures. In this lecture we are going to see about types of lateral earth pressure. There are basically three types: at rest pressure, active pressure, and passive pressure, which are generated during different conditions. Which are these conditions that we will see? In case of at rest pressure condition, when it arises when the wall is connected at their tops. For example, in case of basement walls, the basement walls are connected by the floor slab at their top, or in case of bridge abutment walls, they are connected at their tops by deck slab of the bridge, and therefore the wall cannot move either away from the field or towards the field. Then when no movement of wall takes place, this condition is called as at rest condition, and the pressure exerted by the soil on the retaining wall in such a state is called as at rest pressure. So the coefficient of lateral earth pressure in at rest condition is given by K0, and the expression for it is K0 is equal to mu upon 1 minus mu, where mu is the Poisson's ratio. Similarly, by Jaccys formula also we can find it out in case of cohesionless soil. If we know the angle of internal friction of the soil phi, then 1 minus sine phi is equal to K0, which is the coefficient of lateral earth pressure in at rest condition. In active pressure condition, if we are considering any soil element lying at a depth small h below the top of field, then the vertical pressure, which is the major principal stress given by gamma into h, then definitely the lateral pressure sigma 3, which is minor principal stress, will not be equal to sigma 1, but it will be less than that. And for getting that pressure, we are multiplying the major principal stress sigma 1 with coefficient of lateral earth pressure Ka to get lateral earth pressure sigma 3, which is a minor principal stress. In this case, the expression for Ka is 1 minus sine phi upon 1 plus sine phi. In this case, as we can observe in the figure, the wall is moving away from the backfield. So movement of the failure wedge along with the wall takes place in downward direction and away from the field. So this is the typical characteristic of an active state. In case of passive state, we can see that as the wall moves towards the backfield and in the upward direction, it exerts a large amount of thrust on the backfield, and due to this a failure wedge is developed here, as we are observing in this figure. That's why in this case we can see that the lateral earth pressure, which is sigma 1, is a major principal stress, and the vertical stress due to overburden, that is gamma into h, becomes sigma 3, which is the minor principal stress. Therefore, lateral earth pressure sigma 1 is equal to coefficient of passive earth pressure into vertical pressure sigma 3, which is minor principal stress. But sigma 3 is equal to gamma into h, and therefore sigma 1 is equal to kp into gamma into h. That's why kp is equal to sigma 1 divided by sigma 3. Sigma 1 being larger as compared to sigma 3, kp, coefficient of active earth pressure, is always greater than 1. And that's why we can write the expression Kp is equal to 1 plus sine phi upon 1 minus sine phi, which will give us
the value of Kp greater than 1. In this pressure variation diagram, we can therefore see all the three types of pressures in one diagram, and this particular position represents the wall position. Then in active case, wall moves away from the backfill and downward. In passive case, wall moves towards backfill and upward. In the at rest pressure condition, there is no movement of wall, and if we try to plot the magnitudes of these three earth pressure, we can see that active earth pressure is the least earth pressure out of these three. At rest pressure is greater than active earth pressure, and passive earth pressure is the largest pressure which is exerted by the soil on the wall. Applications, just once again we can revise. Normally the retaining walls are under active earth pressure. If the walls of basement or bridge abutment walls which are connected at their tops, due to which the movement of wall is prevented or restricted, then these walls are exerted by the lateral earth pressure which is at rest. But please remember, at rest doesn't mean the magnitude of earth pressure is not zero. It is there and it is greater than active state. And in the cases when the walls are designed to move towards the backfill, for example, the top portion of the sheet pile wall, when it is pulled by the anchor, the wall is moving towards the backfill. In such case, in the top position it is passive pressure, and sometimes in ghat areas when the walls are provided to retain the mountainous part behind them, they are actually under active state, but due to this the walls may be shifted towards the road, and to prevent that they are designed for passive conditions so that they can be stable and will not move towards the roadside or valley side. So these are some of the examples of passive earth pressure.
So friends, design conditions for earth retaining structures depend upon what is the type of lateral earth pressure, and accordingly we have to take care in our design. That is the importance of understanding what is the type of lateral earth pressure in existence for the given structure.